Hello, all you ghosts and goblins out there. I am Sean.
I'm Ashton.
And I'm Andrew.
We are the Night Scholars, exploring the mystifying world of cryptids, ghosts, ghouls, and all things supernatural. Today, we will be discussing Iowa's second favorite cryptid, the Lockridge monster.
Before we start this episode, I would like to point out that I am 5 foot, but my feet are only 6.5 inches.
I mean, that's fair.
How do you know how many inches your feet are?
Seems like something she would know. She's a weirdo like that.
Because I know like the shoe sizes aren't exactly.
How big are your feet, Andrew?
I don't know inches, but I wear size 14. Well, US
Oh,
14 in men's.
All right.
no, he's bigger than me. I wear 13.
Well, we have officially eliminated that none of us could possibly be the Lockridge monster. Congratulations, guys. I'm proud of us.
Yay!
Nice.
I'm so happy. So, I know. Ashton, you were telling me all week how excited you were to talk about a cryptid from Iowa.
Yeah, I just had a question. So this creature that was discovered in July of 1975 with a monkey's face and a body covered in hair that happens to have next to no information on it. Did you just choose this to torture us, or is it because you lived in Iowa for a short amount of time? I always get the I states confused, so if you did not live in Iowa, then it doesn't matter.
I lived in both Illinois and Iowa.
And
Well,
this is
I
why it
was right
confuses
there on.
me. Because sometimes when I lived in Idaho, I kept saying that I lived in like Indiana or something.
See, that's completely different. At least I lived right next to Iowa, even when I was in Illinois. It was like a 30-minute drive, and then I lived in Iowa. And it was like it was right there on the border of both. So normally I would just say I lived in Iowa just to keep everybody from having a headache.
So why did you choose this thing?
Because it's from because it's from Iowa, and I thought it'd be fun.
Isn't fair?
So that's the only reason. Eh, and I was tired of trying to find creatures that would off Andrew.
I mean, this one. I feel like this one wouldn't have that big of a chance.
I mean, you got to find it.
That is true.
Yeah,
It
I
has to
mean,
find me.
unless you are a chicken, a rabbit, a raccoon, a pig, or a turkey, I think you're okay.
Well, maybe Andrew's the squonk, and Squonk's basically a really ugly pig. So would it hunt Andrew?
You know what? And now that you're mentioning it, it might.
No, I'm not the squonk. But yeah, this guy's like 5 feet tall. He is a certified short king.
Sure is.
Indeed. I mean, he's like slightly taller than I am, but that's only if he's also 5 foot exactly.
Mm.
So it's me, Sabrina Carpenter, and the Lockridge monster. Oh my god, the Lockridge monster, and this really important guy to Manila, Rizal. We're all the same height, just in case
Uh,
anybody was wondering.
I mean,
I mean, technically, isn't your steering wheel a little bit taller than you are too?
It depends on where it's placed. If Will drove the car last, then for some reason it's way lower than me, and I hate it.
Oh,
well, how how big is the Capre usually? I think that thing was only around 5 feet too.
no, I think the Cabre was just needs like 6 to 7 feet or something like that.
Yeah, I think
I might
he's
be.
like huge. I don't think I remembered that, but I just imagine him being like a towering creature.
He probably seems bigger because of all the cigars he smokes.
He probably seems taller because I'm 5 foot.
That's
Yeah,
true. You are very tiny.
Indeed. It makes me seem less threatening.
yeah.
But you're not. But you're not this thing. Might
I
be a
am not.
cryptid of some sort, but I don't even know if you've ever been to Iowa.
I don't even know if I've driven through it. I think I've skipped that little
I mean, you
corner
skipped my
that you
wedding,
lived in.
so
I know. Yeah. I think about that from time to time. But
This
that's what
thing.
you get for getting married during COVID.
You know, it actually got if we had delayed, it actually would have been even worse in our area. So that was the time of the pandemic where it actually was okay. And it got so much worse in the spring when we were thinking of postponing it too.
Yeah.
So, how close were you to Jefferson County and Lockridge?
Uh, I don't think I was that close because I was on the very bottom of Iowa. Like there was no more Iowa to go through. You'd either go to Illinois, or Missouri.
So you never
I
saw this
was
thing?
no, I never got up that far. Sadly, I should
Disappointing.
have, but
I mean, to be fair, you might have seen him because I'm not convinced that it's an actual monster and that it's really just some guy who's a little bit feral.
okay. I know where this thing is. I actually wasn't terribly far from Lockridge. I just never went that direction. I would always go up towards Iowa City.
Did you see anybody with an ape-like face? Because I was friends with somebody in high school that had an ape-like face.
I mean, there was a lot of people like that around. So
That just happened to be a little bit extra hairy.
basically, yeah,
Yeah. All right,
yeah. If I had
Sean.
just
Why don't you go and tell us a little bit more about this guy?
well, from what little I could find about this thing, so this thing first showed up in 1975, or at least that's the first or sighting I could find of the thing. I don't know if you found anything earlier than that, but October 1975. So excellent time to choose this creature. Guy's out in the middle of the night on his tractor doing whatever you do in Iowa, usually corn, and he sees this thing, and you assume you see a strange creature in the middle of the night. You're rightful to assume that it killed all your turkeys. Ace, poor turkeys.
That's my first thought.
Because there's a lot of when you see something that looks like a bear, you're going to assume it's a bear and that it killed your turkeys because bears will do that. But apparently,
I
this thing,
mean, only if the turkeys are dead, I would assume they killed him.
I mean, they were still.
Yeah.
Andrew, Sean's
So,
having a hard time talking. Don't interrupt him.
yes, we all know how smooth I am with words. But anyway, so he tries to get closer to this thing to try and scare it off or something, and it starts standing up, which it was freaky enough because bear's standing up. But then he noticed the thing wasn't a bear; it just looked like one, but it had the face of a monkey on it. And well, that just scared the crap out of him. So he's like, "I'm out." And he goes out the following morning and checks and finds these strange tracks. I believe they were about 10 inches,
Hmm.
as it just didn't match any creatures that he had ever seen. And it killed the turkeys and ate his apples that were 7 feet off the ground, down in the trees. They make a very big point of that this thing was short, or but it could reach the top of the apple tree.
And I
So
assume it could climb it. Maybe it could just jump. I don't know.
You know, Will used to be able to clear cars like flat-footed, so
Mm.
this is not helping with the whole it's not a human thing.
well, this actually kind of concerns me now because I used to have an apple tree in my backyard, and sometimes the apples would just be half eaten on the ground. And I'm like, I know that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And
Was this when you
who
lived
knows?
in Iowa?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, everything that I found says that this guy has not been seen since 1975, but apparently we are having sightings. He's just getting a little bit sneakier,
And yeah,
I mean, apparently.
I mean, as
So,
small as he is, he could probably blend in pretty well in like just any amount of brush.
especially as a human, which I'm convinced he is.
He could be.
you just
Could just be a
you're just
guy.
convinced he's
Yeah.
a really ugly one really ugly dude.
Either that or it's one of the unfortunate sun bears. Have you guys seen the photos of those things? Like, they are so sad looking.
Yeah.
They are adorable. How dare you?
I mean, it looks like a human being forced to wear a bear suit.
Yeah.
I would find that creepy too. Did you guys see anything about like what those footprints were like? Because the first few articles that I read, like it didn't really have any depiction of why it was abnormal. Like it didn't even like really mention that it was abnormal.
I mean, as far as I can tell, it looks like a human footprint.
Yeah.
or like a Bigfoot's footprint, but smaller.
Yeah. I do like how I found this little like article that mentioned that Ramona Hibner of the South Mountain Research Group um had to point out to people that the Sasquatch tracks are typically twice the size of this and that Sasquatch is vegetarian, so it's probably not the same species. Like, I like how there is a committee dedicated to make sure that we know that these are not the same creature.
Yeah, good. That's very
Okay.
important.
I did also think it was great that this research group was out of Florida because, Sean's out of Florida and he's allegedly our head of scholarly research.
Allegedly.
Hey,
Yeah.
you haven't told me yet, is you don't want the job. So
Have the job whether I want the job or not.
Yeah, Ashton does a lot more research than either of us do, I'm pretty sure, Sean.
yeah, but that's not the point. The point is she doesn't want to be the head of research because that's a lot more paperwork. She actually gets to have the fun.
Speaking of fun, so I guess they organized a hunting party to try to get this creature to come out of the woods. And I was
Uh-huh.
wondering, since you have lived in both Iowa and Texas, Sean, who do you think did it better? The Texas Goatman Brigade or the Iowa Lockridge Monster
Well, the
hunting party?
Lockridge monster has allegedly never been seen again, and the Goat Man's still around, so
Yeah, but the goat man, remember it was just like the kids who came out and like admitted like a very long time later that was them.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Iowa still. I know it's blasphemy to say Texas is second best at anything, but I don't care.
They're gonna kick you out of the state.
I mean, I'm basically in Louisiana anyway, so what's the difference?
I don't know.
And then I did
Eh,
see kind of like conflicting reports. The story that you told us earlier, Sean, you were talking, I think, about Herbert Pfeiffer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see that it was only on one of the reports, but it was from the Pine Barrens Institute, which just seems legitimate that Gloria and Wendell Olson were actually the first ones to see it. And they watched it going in and out of dilapidated structures before walking back into the woods. And I just want to know what it was up to. I mean, I'm assuming it was human and trying to find shelter and it was just like a homeless person. But let's just pretend like this Lockridge monster is not human. What do you think it was doing?
Could have just been scavenging, right?
Probably looking for more turkeys.
Which animals do.
Yeah.
It's very popular. Like, I mean, isn't it? Aren't like octopi building stuff now? Didn't they like make tools or something
Yes,
down? Yeah,
they have awareness of how to use tools.
it's nuts.
Uh, Dude, octopi are so much smarter than us. They are basically a cryptid.
Yeah. When I went to Japan with my friend Kayla, she refused to eat anything that had octopus in it, which I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'd really want to eat tentacles. It's kind of not my thing.
No, I like squid, but it's just like when something's that smart, it almost feels wrong to eat something that smart.
And that's fair.
Indeed.
That's why I only eat
But
pigeons.
pigeons are not
That's a
I've
in any
heard
joke.
way, shape,
squirrel
or
is
form.
really good.
Yeah, it is.
And I've also heard that they're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats.
No, heard that too. No, that was a joke. I just think it's funny to imagine somebody running out and just like grabbing a pigeon and trying to take a bite out of it.
Sounds hilarious, honestly.
It's the imagery that definitely translates well to an audio medium.
Of course. Why else would you say it?
Yeah,
Be ridiculous.
Look, it's called the power of imagination.
exactly.
I'm very good at it.
Yeah, it's like when I read books and I like see the scene in my head as I'm reading, which
Yeah, you just
apparently some
hallucinate while
people
staring
don't.
at paper.
Which apparently some people don't do. I don't know, but
Those people are weirdos, so
No, I actually cannot vision. My brain is very blocked from actually being able to
hmm.
envision most things in my head.
Which sometimes is why it upsets me when a book is adapted into a movie and the characters don't look like the description that I had in my head, from reading their
mhm.
description on the page.
Yeah. See, fun fact, I have absolutely no idea what either of you look like right now, or my boyfriend for that instance.
No.
No idea.
And yet you've known me for 10 years.
I know. I can't even tell you what my parents look like, and I've known them my whole life.
Oh goodness.
The best I've got is Asian and blonde woman.
I mean,
But no, when we were in the Philippines, like anytime that my dad put on a black shirt, he blended in so well. There were so many times I was like, "Dad?" And they just like looked at me like, "Who are you, white girl?"
No. Honestly, one
that's
time when
fantastic.
my sister and I went down to Pigeon Forge, and I didn't have my glasses. I don't know if I took them off to clean them or whatever happened to them, or I had to fix them, whatever, or I forgot them. Something happened. Anyway, I wasn't wearing my glasses. I walked up to this random blonde lady thinking it was my sister, and then I realized it wasn't her.
Oh, that'll do that.
My
Like I reached up and
boyfriend and
put my hand on her shoulder, and I was like, "Oh, like you are not my sister."
my boyfriend in high school from behind looked exactly like somebody else who also played alto saxophone.
hmm
And there was like one point where I like almost like came up and like wrapped my arms around him, and I'm really glad that I didn't because it was definitely the girl.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
But
Anyways,
no.
I literally have nothing else to say about this creature. Like
This
there is
thing,
nothing.
this thing is just, this is just one of those weird little, huh, that's curious,
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
things.
it's just
I
a
didn't
miniature
find
Sasquatch.
I didn't find any movies. I found hardly any references to it in pop culture. Other than that, it existed.
Yeah, I did see a tweet about how there was absolutely no respect for this thing, which I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
want to.
respecting it, but you guys are doing a better job than I am. Oops.
It's Iowan,
But
but no,
I
it was just a curious little thing.
yeah, I couldn't even find another podcast on it, so I was like, because a lot of times what I'll do when we pick a subject, I will try to find other podcasts and I will listen to them about that thing before going to articles. Uh, Mainly because I work nights and I like to listen to stuff while I work, so it's kind of productive, you know.
Right, whatever you want to say.
It was kind of like the Taily Poe. This thing was just kind of unique and one of those. What the hell was everybody on in the 70s?
Yeah, except there's actually sightings of this. The Telepo was just kind of a story that's been passed down, just a little folklore story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing, I mean, it really could have been like there are real cases of like feral children, and this could have actually been a human that they mistook for something while they were doing the drugs.
Maybe.
Oh, I that's what I chalk it down to is the drugs. It was the 70s.
Yeah. Nope. Nope. I believe this guy 100% exists, or did.
I
I
believe
think
this
the
guy
hunting
was
party might have got him.
100% just some guy in Lockridge.
Well, it's a hunt. What do you think? The hunting party got it, found out it was a person, and then just never spoke of it again.
Probably. I mean, I would be embarrassed if I went on this hunting trip only to find out that it was a guy, and they're like, and he's like, "Wow, you guys thought that I had a face of a monkey? That's rude."
Yeah.
Sure.
The hair's a condition.
Right? It's like, I know I'm hairy, but like, damn.
Yeah.
Every
Even my
picture I
own
tried
mother
finding is,
rejected me from birth because of this. Now you assholes are coming around out of nowhere.
Oh
uh, what pleasant people we are.
yeah. Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not us, the guys who went out hunting him.
No, yeah. Yeah, other than that, there's like literally not a lot. I have two different articles here, and like it's like a total of like 3 paragraphs, and a lot of them say the same thing.
No, I pulled up 5 articles, dude,
And
and
it's
all
like the
of them
same
were the
thing.
same
Yeah.
thing. Like, the only one that was slightly different was the Pine Barrens one that said, "Nope, it was actually seen first in the summer by Gloria." I'm like, Alright, that's not really any new information, though."
Uh, yeah, we'll have to do Iowa's favorite cryptid down the road. I know there's more information on that thing.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
So,
okay.
this was a fun little guy, but
ah, nice joke there, little guy.
yeah, yeah, he is. I think I could take him, especially if it's
5
just a
feet to
dude.
be exact.
But we never asked the question last week. Do you think you could take a kate?
No, no, you're talking about Greek Titan goddess like magical powers, like that's that's far out of my realm of expertise. I don't know how to fight magic. I mean, I guess like Harry Potter magic fighting it wouldn't be so bad. She just like break their wands, but like that kind of magic's a little bit more.
Bit more problematic.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like asking,
Well, I'm
oh,
glad we did this
can you take
episode.
Zeus? I don't know. Can I survive being struck by lightning? Maybe.
Oh yeah, just gotta punch Zeus in the face. It's not like he doesn't have it coming.
Yeah, it does.
Tune in next week to see what else we punch in the face.
Thank you again, our ghosts and goblins, for listening to the Night Skulls. You all be good to each other. Don't answer the scratching at your window.
Or do.
But most importantly, stay safe out there.
Good night.